everyone is doing great. I'm just doing a test here. It's been a little while since I did the live streaming sessions here, so just give me a second to so I can get set up. Let's see here. Is it working on? Okay, it's working on Twitch. Is it working? Yes, it's working on YouTube. So everyone, let me just go here. So everyone, I'm live right now on right now on YouTube. Feel free to come and ask me questions. Okay, so let's just go YouTube and that's my feed right here. So okay, so Mogo, you have a question. So what is your question, Mogo? What do you want me to look at? Let's go. I'll be sharing my chart right now. A lot of things have been popping up recently. Well, especially today. If we just go on the let's start with a beer because that's always better. There's been a couple of stocks right now that have been popping, and I just want to cover a few. Let me try to do I'm not sure, like ask what is the ticker you want me to look at? ADK? ADK? Diagnose. I have no clue what this company is doing. Let's look at the more long-term chart here because it obviously did a big pop, and we hit. Okay, let me just get more perspective right here. But my friend, you're facing obviously a resistance. The 200 SMA acting as resistance. So hit the peak at 67 cents. Now consolidating. Most likely. Well, let's get more perspective here. A lot of stocks on the TSX Venture did that too. You know, they popped to the 200 SMA, then started collapsing. And on the weekly chart, always go on the long-term chart here. You know, this is a strong resistance. Obviously, you got the 6 EMA, 20 SMA Golden Cross, and the 10 and the 20 Golden Cross. So you may have like another run, maybe after Christmas or something. You're still on the monthly. You're still outside of the Bollinger Bands, so I suspect like consolidation to occur. You know, on the weekly chart, you're overbought. So overbought, you see like right here, started to go back down after it was overbought on the weekly. Overbought on the weekly, starting to consolidate. So that's pretty much it for ADK. Is it a buy right now? I wouldn't say so. Is it a hold right now? I would say it's most likely a sell. 40s. Yeah, and yeah, now it's going back down for sure. In my opinion, this is not going up just yet. Like, it needs more time to cool off. You know, like it's it is what it is, you know, like sometimes cool off, spike, cool off, spike, cool off. Is it going to? It really depends, you know. You bounce on the 4-hour chart, you bounced on the 50 SMA. You got parabolic SAR right here at 55 cents. So it really depends on tomorrow's opening. MACD still not really signaling a buy here. You know, so is it a buy or a sell? It's hard to tell. You know, you got the on the 2-hour chart, you got the 20 SMA that golden cross the 20. So it may go for bounce again for next leg, but you know, I will be careful. You know, putting stop loss or at least watching for a rollback down or something. So we have 3 people watching on this thing. And any other questions? Because what I'm going to do is this here. Run the scanner. No, I mean bounced off the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart. That's what I meant. So what we're seeing here, there's a lot of stocks like in the weed stocks like ACB going up a lot today. Cron, you know, HMJ. KHRN. We got Max that triggered today. Okay, let me just go over this really quickly. Weed and some others. WLM. Okay, so you want to know about gold? What I think about gold? Let's see. Gold is being compressed by the 50 SMA, so still bearish here until it goes over the 50. It's still bearish according to me. You know, we need direction. You know, on the weekly you have the 6 EMA, 20 SMA death cross. You have an upcoming 10 SMA, 20 SMA death cross. On the weekly chart. So I'm not very bullish on gold right now. Let's look at the weekly chart with a little bit more perspective. Last time we had a death cross we had a bounce right after for a huge run from November up. So what is happening right now? It's obviously coronavirus time, you know, coronavirus V2. We're still very overbought. Like on the monthly chart, RSI is very overbought still. We're bouncing off the 6 EMA, but what we don't want is to start to roll down under the 6 EMA. That would trigger a big sell-off. So that's my thing here. RSI is very overbought. We could be seeing a move like this. Let me just pull my chart of gold. You know, so I'm just updating it right now. And then you have this one right here. That's the next resistance for next leg up. Is it today, tomorrow? The next leg up. Well, yeah, like my big sector right now is weed. Looks pretty much guaranteed for um, a move. Um, but I'm not going to cover everything here, right here because that I already did for my subscribers. I invite everyone that wants to know more about weed stocks and how to play them. Was the catalyst? I have no clue. I just read charts. And this morning it popped in my eyes and I just started buying. Yeah. Uh, Seems more legit than buying gold stocks for now. How about silver? Let's look at silver. Silver, like being killed by the 50 SMA. You know, still not positive on silver. You know, this trend line right here is buzzkill. I suspect with the elections, look at that cycle. Elections, this cycle is pretty, you know, you know, the cycle is pretty damn precise here. So something is cooking for November 10th. I could be off by a day or two, but we know that tomorrow night is elections. So is it gonna be a capitulation of silver or the beginning of a run? Let me just align that more properly. You know, we could see a bounce. Seems like we have this triangle here. And the end of the triangle aligns with the cycle. This is, again, this is where things are so predictable. And cycle. I drew this live. Like, this is not bullshit or anything like that. So, and yes, the cycle doesn't align properly, like once it's saved for some reason. Don't ask, I don't even know why. So, right now, let's go to Max because someone asked me about Max. Well, Hockey from COCA like asked me about Max to cover it. Actually, a pretty good one. Parabolic SAR so far triggered this morning. Today, it does appear like we have a MACD cross right here. Let's see if I have that. I most likely have it in my gold stocks list. I don't? Okay, that's interesting. For some reason, I don't have it. But let's do it live here. So like I was saying, Parabolic SAR MACD cross. I'll be saving that in gold. And let's get some perspective here. And then after I'm going to drill down. You know, way overbought RSI was. And then Parabolic SAR triggered. What I like about this chart and on the weekly is the 50-200 golden cross right here. Not necessarily bouncing off the 50. What I don't like is stock charts has a cost. Me, I have like 4 years of subscription left. So, what I don't like about Max is that 10-20 death cross. So you may see a bounce, but you know, like consider like this trend line here, the 10-20 death cross. You know, it's not really a pretty one. So that's Max weekly in gold. And let's go on the monthly chart just to get more perspective of what's happening. What I like again is the 20 upcoming 50 200 golden cross. So maybe it's a bounce off the 6 CMA here. Let's see. So good call, hockey. Like you know, looks good, looks decent. So stock charts cost about 150 bucks Canadian, I think, depending on which plan you take. It's not the best out there, but you know, sometimes you just need something that works. And since I have that many years of subscription left, you know, so Max, Midas Gold, trend line, 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, upcoming death cross, maybe not, depending on tomorrow's action, to be confirmed. You know, we got MACD cross, but could be popping tomorrow. I would put it on my watch list. So Max 4H. And no, this is not the Corona. What else can we look at? Let's look at KL. Kirkland. People love this one usually, but I'm not too excited about that. Let's go to oil. Let's look at oil. What did oil do today? Yeah, look at this. ACB, Cron, VFF. So VFF, APHA, weed, you know, this is where it's interesting to maybe look at one or two of these. Obviously, 200 SMA acting as resistance here, lots of resistance. So depending on what tomorrow is going to be doing, we could see the beginning of a run. And I'm not going to cover more than that because I covered in my private channel. What else? ACB starting maybe to bottom out. You know, so we could go to weed. I purchased weed this morning, made a bit of money. About almost 10% today. So pretty nice day in the weed stocks. GBR. Okay, you want me to cover GBR? Sure. GBR. Let's be honest. It's fighting with the 50 SMA. 19 bucks. That thing was. You're asking me if it's overextended? Good question. Look at the RSI. You know, like usually that's the way to go. Like you look at the RSI. Overbought like crazy, I think. Look at this. That's a big bobble. That's a big bobble. You know, it started at 50 cents. I think it's time for a bit of a consolidation here. But that's my, yeah, it's a monster. The RSI is a monster. Reminds me of GGI. What was GGI? Look at that. People were calling me crazy for calling bullshit on that. Let's look at NXC. Look at the RSI. It was barely overbought, and I call bullshit on that. What was it? NVO. NVO called bullshit on that when it started to get overbought. This is quarterly chart. Not many people look at quarterly. This is the beauty. Just look at the monthly. Monthly was overbought like crazy. But when it's overbought on the quarter, that's even worse, you know? Like overbought on the quarterly chart, you know? When it's like that, like, you know it's gonna bust. It can't go forever. So, and no, this is not NXT, this is GGI. So, we can look, what were WHN? I got kicked out of that one too. I call bullshit. RSI was overbought on the quarterly chart. Look at what it did. Crash, collapse, back up. So now on this one, now you actually have a 6 EMA, 10 SMA death cross. So bag holders will be made on this chart. Let's just go on the daily. Pop, bust. What else can we look at? So yeah, like just stay away. Like, you know, usually like once you see, okay, let's do LAC. Lithium America, you know, I traded this almost like a hero, but let's see, overbought on the daily, on the monthly, collapsed, overbought on the monthly, collapsed. Outside the BB, collapsed. Let's go on the quarterly chart just to see here. Quarterly chart, a little bit overbought, collapsed. So, you know, quarterly chart never really lies. When it's overbought, RSI is overbought, it's time to sell. Sure, it's going to give you some hope, create some false hope, but you know, that's what it is. What could we look at? I think there's a lot of plays like in oil that will be popping, but that I'm not gonna cover. It's a little bit slow, too slow for my taste. Things like BTE started popping today, 12%, but it's a penny stock, so, and the 200 and the 50 SMA like are just like going down. So until like it breaks over. Well, it depends if you want to short. I'm not really a shorter. If I short, I'm gonna use some some Beta Pro tools to short the whole market. But that's it, you know. That's my way to do it. Let's go to oil. So oil just bouncing, but not looking good because the 6 EMA death cross with the 200. So the 50 will most likely roll over down, and you know, we're still 6 EMA, 10 SMA, death cross, MACD rollover. You know, not pretty necessarily. Let's look at nat gas. Nat gas shooting up, oil rolling down. Nat gas overbought on the daily. Let's look at HNU. Nat gas shooting up, but HNU not moving. It's pretty priceless. Website recommending for what? for trade ideas, uh, I don't recommend website for trade ideas if that's what you're looking for. So I just don't recommend websites for trade ideas. Usually those are bad. They're pump jobs, not run by unbiased people. I try to be as unbiased as as I can be. Let's see here. Anybody here? No. So anyways, any other questions? There's like 3 people watching. 2 people connected on YouTube, 1 person connected on Twitch. So yeah. Where is this? What did I do? Yeah, sorry about that. Like I lost the chat here, I think. Oops. So yeah, like I lost the chat here. Sorry, like it's NordVPN. Okay, whatever. Nope. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what website you're looking for, but I don't recommend anything really. Did my stream just stop? So some people say no mask here at Home Depot. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, like it looks like my stream just stopped. Like, this is bizarre. Anyways, so anything else you want me to cover, I'm happy to do so. So yeah. HNU could be, you know, a buy here, but I don't know. It's fine. Okay, cool. Okay, so Scarmex123, any questions? What do you want me to talk about? Like I have about 20 minutes to answer any questions, cover any stocks you want me to cover. So let's look at, let's look at first Vanadium. For some reason, I just decided to pick this one because nobody is, huge volume increase today, in up 37%. Let's look at the more long-term chart here. Breaking above the 200 SMA. Looking good, I guess, for the long term. If this holds, you know, MACD bulkish, I would say. So it just touches and bounce up. Let's look at the monthly chart. Monthly chart, MACD cross. So it could go back up to, 160. Not much resistance here. Once it breaks out on the, maybe $1, maybe Yeah. So you could be getting a 113 or 291%. Look at that. Like when I say overbought on the monthly dump, well, that thing started to dump. So, but yeah, like you may get like a 200% call on this here. Anything else? Let's go to Oko. Nice run since this June. Today triggered the parabolic SAR, went up 12%. Volume increase, obviously, but let's see. RSI on the weekly is overbought. Let's go on the monthly. Monthly overbought doesn't mean it can't go up, but it's gonna consolidate most likely. You know, then go back up, consolidate, back up. Now you're in an overextended area. That's my, you know, overbought on the quarterly chart, overbought on the quarterly chart. It's ready to roll. I could be wrong, you know, there's times where I'm wrong. And the idea is like to be okay if you're wrong, you know, like it's you're a bit high, you know, like here. I don't know, I'm scared of high, so so yeah, that's it for me. Any other thing? Anybody else has a question or something? All right, cool, man. So, well, thanks for joining. And I might do other lives later. I'm a bit lazy on the live. I've been slacking off on that. I've been focusing mainly on my business as it's my main revenue generator. And but if for those that are here, if you have any questions, I have about like 10 minutes, and then I'm getting back to work for my business. Scarmex is there and watching, but not asking any questions, just confirming that. Let's go to Sick. Sokoman Minerals. Remember this biggest pump ever, one of the biggest pump ever on COCA. You know, let's go weekly chart. Weekly chart actually looking good. Could be going back up to, it's doing a cup move. You know, we could be seeing this like that. Yeah, so building a cup is gonna go back up to 60 cents. Again, was overbought. I pretty much call bullshit on that one too. Yeah, so looking good for now for Sick Sokoman Resources. Man, I'm surprised. Like I'm streaming live, like willing to answer any questions. And nobody's here, so I guess most people are still either eating dinner or are too lazy to focus on Sky Gold. Let's look at Sky Gold. Parabolics are triggered, being killed by the 50 SMA. Had a big run in June, July. So volume 380. Looking good. MACD cross. So it really depends here what we have on the weekly. Let's see weekly what we have. The 10 acting as death cross. So not really liking it right here. Maybe the 4-hour chart would bring more details. Looks like the max chart, so could be bouncing off the 200, trying to bounce off 6 CMA. You know, wants to golden cross with the 50 and the 200. What else? Could be 200 SMA on the 2H, acting as resistance. So really tomorrow, Sky, Max, could be, you know, could be a play. So since there's no activity, I'm gonna go back to my own things because I'm busy. If you want, you can subscribe to my channel, and if you're looking for trade ideas, ping me. I'll obviously offer a subscription. Cost is $200 for 3 months. You get all the recordings and all that. And I try not to give calls all the time because sometimes there are opportunities, but they're limited, and I'm not looking for limited opportunities like in-out type of thing. I leave that for other people. And yes, I don't get right on everything, but that's okay. The idea is to get some calls right and well, get some calls and try to stay active in the market whenever possible. And we obviously have elections coming up, so a lot of uncertainty in the market. You know, we see volatility just dying off right now. At 638, volatility could be bouncing on the 6 EMA to shoot up for election time. So let's see what TradingView is saying on ES1. ES1 being futures. Yeah, futures are up, so gold is up a little bit, silver is up a little bit, oil is up a little bit. So looking good for tonight. And all right, everyone, well, have a great evening, and remember, it's your money. Take care of it.